Good morning.
Big Rodney.
Ready to get this started this morning.
All right.
I don't know if y'all remember what on first Sunday I was standing up here. And I told you guys my wife volunteered my services.
Yeah.
So today is that Sunday. For those of you that weren't here, before my wife became a member of this church, she was attending Angelic. It was on the corner of Normandy and Florence.
Angelic.
And
Yeah.
they still have her do things over there, even though she's a member over here. So today is Family and Friends Day over there.
Hallelujah.
So they made her the organizer or chairperson, the person in charge of Family and Friends Day. So she decided to volunteer my services. She didn't ask me if I would speak over there. She didn't ask me if I wanted to speak over there. She didn't even tell me I was speaking over there. She told the people at Angelic that I was speaking over there. I just happened to be in the room with her while she was on the phone with them.
Yeah.
Well, my husband is going to bring the theme for Family and Friends Day. So I guess it's safe to assume that my wife wear the pants in this family.
Hey, Rodney, what time is it gonna be?
Don't take it like that.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Oh, what street? What street? What street?
Family and Friends.
What
You know
street?
where the auto zone is? I mean, not
What-
Angelic.
What street?
It's on Florence,
Who?
and it's right behind the auto zone.
Okay, Florence. Yeah. Florence.
And Norman.
No, yeah.
That's where the pride kicked.
Florence. Norman. Yeah.
Oh, nah.
I'll be there.
So she decided, you know what I'm saying, that I'm speaking this afternoon.
She just.
And
She told you. She was.
I don't, you know what I'm saying, I joke about it. But the way I actually look at it, it wasn't something she's having me to do. It's something God is having me to do.
She just slide.
That's the avenue God took to get me there. Because, in all honesty, I never expected to be here.
Yeah.
But what had happened, I'm gonna tell you what got me here. We have a member at the church got sick one day. I'm not gonna call her name. But Reverend Calhoun, you remember when we met at the hospital?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think you took her to the hospital, and I met y'all up there. And I shared my testimony with Reverend Calhoun. And Reverend Calhoun felt the need to put me here to share my story.
Okay.
And since that first Sunday I stood up, I've been here. And since I've been here, I've grown.
That's right.
See, initially, I'm going to tell you how I first came in here to speak that first time. Some of you were here, some of you weren't. Jim was here. When I first came, okay, I've never really been one for getting in front of a group of people and speaking. So, this just ain't me.
It ain't you.
So, I didn't think it was me at the time. So, I got in thug mode to build my courage to get here to speak. So when I got up here, when I came, I had on my orange shirt, my orange shorts, I had on a white pro club, and my little black corduroy house shoes.
Bugging on the way.
Yeah. I got in groove mode. And I got in groove mode to get the courage
My people.
to stand in front of you people to share my story. But since then, I don't have to get in groove mode to have the courage to stand in front of people. Right.
I'm listening.
I don't have to be in groove mode to share the word of God. Because that's what I do here. I stand here and I share the word of God.
Amen.
See, apparently, Reverend Calhoun seen something in me that I didn't know was in me. And since that day, a couple of years ago, there was a member here, Reverend Paula Adams. Apparently, she saw something in me that I hadn't seen in me.
Yeah.
Because she decided to have me that first year do vacation Bible school over the summer. But I say that to say, since I've been working for the Lord, I have grown. Since I've been working for the Lord, and I'm going to be honest, because I told you guys before, every time it's time for me to get up here to share the word of God, I'm nervous about doing it. See, people don't understand that to bring the word of God, to be God's representative, there are things required of you. And you got to do it right. You can't get up here and just guess at and speak what's on your mind. When you share the word of God, you have to be there by God. You have to be willing to submit to the leading of the Spirit. Now you got people who do it that aren't led. Just like you got some people that have that gift of gab. You have a man that can talk a woman up out of her clothes and convince her that he loves her and don't feel anything for her. We've all done it. You still doing it. You know. You know, you got women who done convinced the man that she loved him to get him to take care of her, and maybe her and her kids. But in all honesty, she's not feeling anything for him. So we can convince people of things. We can say that we love somebody and not love them at all.
That's what we do.
And the scripture I'm coming from today is the same one I came from on first Sunday.
What's scripture?
Romans 8:28 through 30.
Romans 8:28 through 30. Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28 through 30. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. Now, there's something about this particular passage. Something in this passage spoke to my wife. And she wanted to know, is he talking to me? And there's a lot of people who read this. I mean, this is a popular scripture, a popular verse. I mean, if you look at it and say, I mean, wow. And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. That in itself make this passage of scripture popular. All things work together for the good. That one in Genesis 25th, correction, Genesis 50:20. And this was Joseph talking to his brothers after they sold him off into slavery.
I'm listening.
One of them decided he wanted to apologize for what he had done. But Joseph told him, it's okay. Because what you meant for evil, God meant for good. In these two passages, people know. I don't know how many times you've probably heard somebody or maybe even used it. What you meant for my bad, God meant for something good. You know, and all things work together for the good. And we see the promise of something good in this. And this is the part that captures us. This is the part that makes us say, is God talking to me? Because we want God to promise us something good. We want that good. But the thing is, we don't read the whole verse.
For real.
All things work together for the good to those who love the Lord, to those who are the called according to his purpose. Now, this might come as a shock.
In his eyes is a flame of fire.
This might come as a shock to a lot of people. But everybody don't love God.
No.
Everybody in church don't love God. Everybody who loved God didn't always love God. See, I love the Lord. But I didn't always love the Lord. Because at one point in my life, I was self-centered. At one point in my life, it was all about what I could do, what I could make happen. I didn't look towards God to make anything happen. I didn't look towards God to give me patience. They even got a part of the scripture that said, well, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I didn't wait for God to take vengeance upon my enemies. Of course not. You know, they say, hit me and I hit you back.
Knock him out.
Hit me if you want to. I'm not going to say hit me and I hit you. Hit me if you want to. I'm going to do a little more than just hit me. That was my way of thinking then. But since then, since I've been doing this, since I've been in a relationship with God,
That's right.
I am no longer that person. So again, I say, you know, everybody who say they love the Lord don't really love the Lord. See, the part people fail to realize is love needs to be expressed. Now, I can tell you I love you, and if you got the gift of gab, you can convince somebody that you love them, but your actions will say otherwise. And the thing is, you can do all the actions. You know, love is a strange type of thing because you can do the actions and not love. You can give and not love. But you can't love and not do the actions. You can't love and not give. Love requires you to do something other than think about yourself.
Well put.
And when you love God, you're not just thinking, what's in it for me? See, a lot of people come to church and think they're getting away from the wrath of God. A lot of people don't come because they love God. A lot of people come because they know one day checkout time is coming. You ever been in a hotel and when checkout time comes, they buzz your room Well, see, one day God gonna ring that buzzer for everybody. We all gonna hear that buzzer sooner or later.
Okay.
And it's gonna be time to go.
I'm listening.
So a lot of people know that checkout time is coming one day. And they know when that day comes, they're gonna have to face God.
You can't hide.
So what they do, they come sit in church and pretend to accept God. Pretend to accept Christ. Pretend to be in a relationship with God. But the thing is, in all this pretending, they're only spending time with God one day a week.
Huh?
And they don't spend the whole day with Him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't always love God. Everybody in church don't love God. And I told y'all this before. There's been many Sundays I've sat in church
My little wife is silver.
3 hours from the window.
Yeah.
And I would sit there on my phone and I'm playing either Candy Crush or Subway Surfer.
Yeah.
Whatever Reverend Graham, Reverend Troop, Reverend Fisher, Reverend Calhoun may have been talking about while they was up there, I didn't hear nothing, and I didn't get nothing.
Remember? I told you about that.
I was just here warming a seat. And the thing is, like I say, even there, love is not selfish. When you love, you give. And it's not just by giving your money, you know, giving somebody a place to lay their head, giving somebody food to eat. But you give of yourself. When you love God, you give of yourself. And although I came to sit in church, I wasn't giving God any of me. Basically, I was here, be happy that I'm here, accept it, and be quiet. Because that's what a lot of us do with God. We come sit in the church house and think this should be good enough for God. Accept what I'm giving you. So, where's the love in that? But everybody want to quote this scripture, all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord, and they want the promise. But they don't want to give. They don't want to do what it takes to be a recipient of that promise. They don't want to do what needs to be done to actually be the one that God is talking to. But they would say that he must be talking to me. They want him to be talking to them. But like I say, love requires some actions. And if you don't have the actions to go with the word, you just bumping your gums. You just talking. You're no different than I was when I was sitting in the back of the church playing Candy Crush or Subway Surfer while the pastor was giving a sermon.
Okay.
Love needs to be expressed. And a whole lot of people overlook the part of the scripture that says to them who love the Lord. People don't understand how important love is. I mean, imagine living in a house with a woman that you don't love.
That's dangerous.
With a woman that don't love you. Y'all cohabitate and call yourself being in a relationship, but there's no love in the house. I can tell you there's something a little strange about love. A lot of people don't know that love is an ingredient. Do you know when you cook and it's not done in love, the food tastes different? When your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend cook for you, and they're not doing it with love, the food tastes different.
Too much.
See, people don't realize how important love is. And then you gotta figure, even when you serve food and it's not done in love, when she bring your plate to the table and sit it down like that and walk off, you know it ain't no love in that.
They don't want
And the thing is, when you receive your plate and you look at her and kind of roll your eyes and start chopping up stuff and stirring up stuff, your actions say that you're feeling the same thing she's feeling. And when y'all both in a house that don't have love in it, you can feel it.
I know.
You can feel that tension.
I feel it.
You can feel that anger, that animosity.
Oh.
So for us to say we love God and expect Him not to feel our dishonesty, our disloyalty, who are we really fooling? Because we ain't fooling God. How can you fool God? He know what's in you. He know exactly what's in you.
Death.
And the thing is, you know, you have a scripture that say, somebody asked Jesus, what is the first and the greatest commandment? And he tells them the first and greatest commandment is, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength.
Praise.
And to be honest, on our own, it's not possible to love God that much. See, because on our own, we always seem to find a reason to put God on the back burner.
There you go.
We always seem to find a reason to make God wait. I see you when I'm ready to see.
I have tomorrow.
In all honesty, you don't have to wait till Sunday
Give me coffee now.
to spend time with God.
Come on.
You don't have to wait till Sunday to hear scripture.
Come on.
You don't have to wait till Sunday to tell God, I love you.
Watch out.
But we want to treat God like He in the county jail. Like He in Folsom, Quentin, Tracy, Soledad, Delano, Wasco,
Watch out.
Avenal.
Watch out.
We treat God like He's in prison. Because God only get a visit on the weekend.
Once a week.
God get a 2-hour visit
Once a week.
on Sunday.
Once a week. And then you?
And then some of us come sing and don't put money on His books.
Once a week. You know you.
No matter how much money we got, we don't give God that wet 40. Is it still 40? Some of y'all know what I mean when I say that wet 40.
Yeah. In the county jail.
When it come back.
Yeah. Wait for it. Got to put it through there.
We come give God this 2-hour visit on Sunday. And we don't want to pay tithes. We don't want to put no on the offering plate. And we want all things to work together for the good. For us. Not for them that love the Lord, but we want everything to work together for the good. For me. And I'm not going to share my good with you or you or you. Because my good, my blessing, God blessed me with this. So you can't have none. That's the attitude a lot of us
I
have.
understand like Bobby.
And then sometimes we can even give,
I can understand like Bobby.
but we don't give out of love.
He just called your name.
A lot of times we give and we expect to be blessed again.
Yeah.
We don't do it simply because we love our neighbor.
I spoke to him.
We don't give because we love the Lord. We don't give because I'm thankful for what God has done for me. We give so that
I just been used to them
I can be blessed
package.
again.
It's raining. Like the boy.
A few months back, I was at the car wash. I believe I told some of you about this. I'm washing my car. And this is like, at the time I was having, having kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm struggling to keep the bills paid.
Yeah.
People came and knocked on my door and told me that they were going to turn off my lights.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard at that time. But I'm at the car wash one day, and Jack in the Box had just came out with a new burger. And the burger special was $4.99.
Yeah, it was good too.
I found $5. And I had some change in my cup holder. So I get this text, I got this thing, this app, where I, text this number to Jack in the Box, whatever. So every time they get a new sandwich or some promotion, they send a text to my phone.
Yeah.
Well, before I went to the car wash, they sent this text of this new burger they had. So I'm thinking, oh, that looks good, I'm getting that. And then 10, 15 minutes later, I'm at the car wash, and I find $5. So in my mind, God done answered my prayer. I'm finna go get this burger. But then, while I'm washing the car, actually I finished washing, I'm poured over, I'm vacuuming it out, and I'm drying. I hear this guy over here talking on his phone. And somebody said something to me, say, well, right now I'm having it kind of hard. I gotta watch every penny I get. I'm having a hard time making ends meet. Sometimes I don't eat. So I'm like, weasel. So something tell me, give him $5. And I'm like, what? Now I can only assume that this is the Spirit talking to me. Like I said, when people read all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord, people want to say, is God talking to me? God got to be talking to me because they want the promise of something good. But there are other times we don't want God to talk to us. Because when the Spirit is telling me to get that boy that $5 I just found, I argue with the Spirit. I say, no, I don't think so. Because I'm actually telling myself that it was me talking. You trying to tell yourself to do something good. That ain't God talking to you. But some else say, yeah, it is. Get a man the $5. Why would I want to give him the $5? I want to go get my burger. I'm arguing with the Spirit. And then it says, I didn't give it to you for you. You are just the go-between. Give the man the $5. So I go over to the man and I knock on his window. I said, I'm not pretending to be in your business, but I heard you say you were having a hard time. And I was led to give you this. And he looked at me and he kind of smiled and he thanked me. And I said, don't thank me. Thank God. Because it's not me. I didn't tell him I didn't want to do it. But I didn't want to do it. And see, God blessed us to be a blessing to others. But most of the blessings we get, we want to hold on to. We grip them tight. Even our knowledge of the word. We have a brother that stands here and speaks sometimes. But the thing is, when he speaks, no matter how he start off, for 5 minutes, he might start off real good. But by minute 7, minute 8, he goes back into the same thing he's been saying. How you say it? God came to me in the form of a cab driver. I don't mean to laugh at the man, but I say that to say the man has a wealth of biblical knowledge, but he don't share it. When I study the Word of God, I try to learn as much as I can so that I can share it with you guys. Because standing here doing what I do, it's my job being called by the Lord to lead you correctly. And see, that too is in this scripture. All things work together for the good to them that are the called. No, all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord, who are the called according to his purpose. So, like I said, people want this verse to speak to them. People claim that this verse is talking to them. And that's only because they see the promise and want the promise.
Heck yeah!
But they don't want to do what's required to obtain the promise. See, sometimes when you want the blessing, you got to put yourself in front of the blessing. Maneuver yourself to get hit by a blessing. And then don't change your mind. A few years back, there was a dude who thought he wanted to kill himself. And what he did, he thought, but he changed his mind. And he took his little truck and parked it on the tracks, on the Metro Link tracks. But at the last minute, he changed his mind, but his truck wouldn't start. So he got out the truck, left the truck sitting on the tracks, the train hit the truck, and it flipped over on its side, and it killed a few people. But the person who thought he wanted to commit suicide, but changed his mind, lived but killed people. See, we do things and we think we want to get hit by a blessing. But we don't change our mind about getting hit by the blessing. We just change our minds about doing what's required to get hit by the blessing. We would jump out of the way of a blessing and not know it. Because you figure obedience.
Wait a minute, Rodney. Wait. Park on the railroad track. What?
The dude thought he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
So he parked his car, his truck,
I don't know.
on the Metro Link tracks, and this was a few years back.
People in the car?
Give me your number.
And he was in his truck, in his old truck, by himself. And whatever he was going through, he thought he wanted to kill himself. So he parked his truck on the
I
tracks.
got his number.
But at the last minute, when the train was coming,
Call him.
he decided he didn't want to die. So he jumped out of the truck. The truck wouldn't start for whatever reason. He jumped out of the truck, left the truck on the tracks. The train hit the truck, fell over on his side. Now, you gotta understand the speed of the train going, it ain't gonna just stop.
Right.
And then the collision gonna throw people around. The train turning over on its side and sliding. You know what I'm saying? People on that train are messed up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But see, dude changed his mind about getting hit by that train.
I see people, man.
Now, when people say all things work together for good,
Let me use
to them
another
that
$2.
love the
Don't want
Lord,
to
they want the blessing. But they don't want to do what's required to get hit by
I
the
know he
blessing.
did.
They might even start off
I know.
in a position to try to get hit by the blessing, but they'll change their mind because they don't want to be
You
obedient
know how
to
to get
God.
that with her. Get her number. You know how to get that.
The flesh speaks louder than the voice of God. The flesh in some people is stronger than the pull of God. When the flesh wants what it wants, we tend to give in. Now, if any of us ever been on drugs, we know how that can pull us. Sometimes we want to do the right thing. Sometimes we don't want to get a man our money. Our money. Sometimes we don't want to get a dope man our money. But the pull is so good because I've actually seen people do this. It's payday. Remember payday used to be the 1st and the 15th?
AFBC.
So people would get their first check and they say, well, I can pay this bill and that bill. And they weren't even paying the whole bill. They were putting something on it. Well, I can put this on the light bill, this on the gas bill, put this on the rent, and then I can play with this. I've seen people say, okay, I got X amount of dollars. I'm gonna use this 40 for my fund. Now, let's be realistic. If you're an addict, you know $40 worth of anything ain't enough.
Yeah.
If you smoking crack, shooting heroin, snorting speed, snorting coke, you know $40 ain't enough. At the AA meeting, the NA meeting, it says, one is too many, 1,000 is never enough. And it's real. And we would go with that pull. We would follow that voice before we follow the voice of God. Because we are weak. Why
Wow.
are we weak?
Why?
Here. Because
What?
we don't connect to the power source.
You are the power source.
No, you're not the power source.
Yes, I am.
Your power comes from somewhere. You don't have that power in yourself. Have you ever been addicted to crack, heroin, cocaine?
No.
So you don't understand the
Oh, I'm
power.
talking about addiction. I'm talking about not being bipolar. I'm not talking about something that'll pull you to an addiction. I'm talking about your soul. The
What
soul
power,
of a man.
what power do your soul have if it's not connected to the power source? Your soul ain't nothing but a light bulb.
Thank you.
And if that light bulb don't have a power source, how's that light gonna shine? Do you know that the moon don't have light of its own?
You
The
know,
light you see reflected off the moon is the light that comes from the sun.
you have power.
You
You know
don't.
why? Because you got breath in your lungs. As long as you got breath
Okay.
in your body.
I tell you what.
As long as you got breath in
You
your
think
body.
you got the power?
As long as you got
You think
breath.
you got the power?
As long as you
And
got
where did that breath
in
come
your
from?
body.
Where did that breath come
I
from?
woke up this morning.
And who did that? You didn't wake yourself up.
You got Jesus. You got Jesus Christ twisted.
No, I got Jesus Christ twisted.
Yeah.
When you saying you got the power, you got more power than he does. But
No, I am him. I am him. You know why I am him? You know why I am him? Because I'm a black individual in the United States that didn't ask to be here.
oh, so because you black,
Yeah.
you have the power of Christ because you're black.
Yes, the power of Christ dwells within my heart. You know why? Because I got history. I got history.
It is funny.
I already know.
It's funny.
I already been informed.
Explain something.
I'm informed every day. You know what? You know what?
You
know what?
think you
You know what? You know what?
No, I don't know you. I've never met him before. Ain't
The
that the some guy
power-
straight down the street around the
The
corner?
power is in your hands.
You
The
have
power is in your hands.
Right.
The power is in your hands.
Anyway,
You can say
back to
yes.
what I was saying.
I can say no. It's either yay, yay,
We
or
have
nay.
no power.
I'm listening. I got a question. I'm listening.
Yes, sir.
It's either yay, yay, or nay.
Ma'am, how long you been around?
Ain't no in between.
How long have you been around? How old are you?
51.
I'm 82.
Mm-hmm.
I grew to a place where I understood I didn't have it. I had to get it. God was in my life.
If God be for me,
But-
who can be against me? No, I'm not against myself.
The
You know
fact that
something? You know
you
something?
refuse
You know
to
something?
learn what
No.
you don't know.
You know what? You know what? All I know is I've been healed. I've been delivered. I've been set free. And he that the Lord has set free is free indeed.
You think you interrupt the word of God, you're not healed.
I am.
You're not delivered.
I am delivered.
And you really have no love for the Lord.
Yes,
because
I do.
everything you're saying is about you.
That's right.
But it's not about you.
It is about me.
But it's not.
You know why? Because he said me.
And this message
Why
isn't about you.
why are we having differences?
Because Eve disrespected God in the Garden of Eden.
You know what? I've been set free from the curse of Eve.
Eve disrespected God
I
in the
am
Garden of
happy
Eden.
in my freedom.
Eve
Why?
disrespected
I am happy in my freedom.
Satan was happy in his freedom too when he decided he wanted to overthrow God.
He was there.
You know what?
Eve.
The Lord is with me, and I am with
And the fact that you decided you wanted to interrupt
No, I
this
wasn't
message,
interrupting.
but you weren't interrupting.
All right.
And then you wanted
know
to
what?
argue and debate
You can deny
the word
who
of
you
God.
are.
But the scripture
You
even
can
says
deny-
that the word of
you
God
can
is
deny
not to be
yourself.
argued or
You can deny
debated.
yourself
Yeah.
all the days of your life.
So, still in all,
But you can't run from
Please,
yourself.
we have
Please say
no power
Please say.
if we are not connected to the power source.
You are a black
Outside of being connected
I'm listening.
to the power source,
I'm listening.
we are nothing but a light bulb sitting in a drawer.
I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? If you take a light bulb and lay it on the table,
Yeah.
how much light do you get from it?
That's what I'm saying.
You get none.
Look at
It's a
me.
light,
Look
but
at
it
me.
has no
Look
power.
at me. I
because it's
am
not
that
connected
light.
to the power source.
I am that light. I am that
Amen.
light.
Amen.
I am that light.
Back to my message.
Yes, sir.
And you sit that light on the top of the hill that all man shall see it.
Please say.
And so
Please
shine.
say. You have no authority here. Please
The thing
say.
is, a lot of
Please
us
say.
say we love God,
Please say. You have no authority
but
here.
we don't.
Please say.
And so
And
shine.
our action, like I say,
Please say.
love
Please say.
requires
Please say.
actions.
Hello.
Say.
Love ain't thinking
No
about
authority here.
making
Please
myself
say. Please say.
look good.
Please say.
Love ain't about making myself appear to be a giant.
Please say. Please say.
It is what it
Love.
is. It is love.
That there is humility
That's right.
in love.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
You gotta learn to be humble when there's love.
All this.
Automatically.
And some of us don't know how to be humble.
All
You're going to be humble automatically over here.
You got a lot of people who feel they want to dominate something.
Yes. Yes, they do.
You got a lot of people who wants to be in control.
Amen.
And we don't realize and understand that to dominate and to control something or someone
Yeah.
are not acts of love.
Right.
If you are in the house
Yeah.
You practice
and you are being a
lukewarm
dictator
Christianity.
and you want to force your wife
You're
to do
practicing
what you want them to do
Right.
Christianity.
You're not
hot,
acting
neither are you cold.
in love. You acting in self-love.
Yeah, you are. You
Because it's
lukewarm.
all about what you want, how you want it, when you want it done.
You
In the
lukewarm.
parking lot.
And God spit you out of life.
In the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we do certain stuff,
Yeah.
it's all about what we want,
I'm listening
how
very
we want it, when we want it done. But when there's love for God,
Yeah.
you know
No, I'm
who
talking
He is.
love.
You know who's
That's
in
right.
In the park.
control.
In the parking lot.
You know who's the authority.
Alright.
No parking lot.
Yeah.
See, I used to be that person.
I ain't worried about y'all.
But I'm not that person anymore.
It's not hot, no.
Because I don't have
Ain't no
to
problem. I'll be back.
I don't have to argue with
Yes, sir.
somebody.
Yes,
And
sir.
when I come back,
I don't have
you
to
gonna sit
fight
here.
with somebody
Say everything.
to
I
prove
don't change.
who I
I
am.
don't change.
Because I know who I was, and I know what I was delivered from. I am not the individual that I used to be.
I'm listening.
Amen.
I don't have to yell. I don't have to cuss.
Amen.
I don't have to fuss. And I don't have to fight to prove to anybody
Believe that.
who I am
And let it go with
and
you.
who I represent.
Amen.
Because my actions should identify who I am. and what I represent.
Amen. Amen.
In all honesty, if you love the Lord, your conduct, your character, and your conversation should identify who you are.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, when you have that type of conduct, that type of conversation, it displays the character of a person that doesn't have a connection with the Lord.
Like a car alarm.
So, there is something about acting in love. And a person that loves the Lord, like I say, the character, the conduct, the conversation will reflect a love for God. So if you don't have a love for God, why would you expect this verse to be talking to you? All things work to the good to them that I put in the church for you later. All things work together for the good to them that love the Lord, who are the called according to his purpose. Now, in order to do that, I gotta get back on track here. Who are the called according to his purpose. Now, like I say, people want that verse to talk to them, but they have no real love for the Lord.
Hey.
Okay, Rodney, I'm listening.
Okay. Now, who are the called? Now, there's a general calling that goes out. Okay. Most churches you go to, at the end of the sermon, the pastor, the preacher, the minister, who's ever, whatever church you're in, here is Reverend Grimm. At the end of the sermon, the pastor will say, the doors are open. Now what he's doing, he's inviting people to join the body of Christ. You don't have to join this church, but he's inviting people to join the body of Christ. So that's just a general call. But then there's another call.
What's that?
Now, I'm gonna put it to you like this. You ever get a letter in the mail and it says to the resident of, and it has your address? And we call that junk mail. Because it's just speaking in general. Whoever might be staying at this address, read this. Now some people might read the junk mail, but most people don't. Most people ball up the junk mail and throw it out. But then there's some other mail that we tend to take a little more seriously. Like if you were to get that pink slip telling you that your light's gonna get cut off, we tend to respond to that.
Salt and pepper.
If we get a summons for jury duty, some of us will respond to that one because we see that as being more significant, more important. Some of us might still throw it out, but some of us will heed the summons. Well, see, God, like I say, Grimm will send out the general call when he asks people to join the body of Christ. But God will also send something to let you know, I got something for you to do. Now, not everybody answers that call. Because when you first gave me the call, I ran for over 20 years.
Ran?
In 1991, 92, and I believe I told you guys, I was sitting in Chino. I was in the cell in Chino, and I remember going to sleep. I don't remember waking up. But I remember sitting on the side of my bed and the light in the room was too bright. So I got my eyes closed and I'm looking down, but I'm not looking down. My head is just hanging down with my eyes closed. And even with my eyes closed, the cell was too bright. But I couldn't get away from the light. And I saw, like I said, I don't know if I was seeing a vision. I don't know if I was dreaming. But I know I was no longer laying down. I was sitting up. And I seen me standing in front of a group of people sharing the word of God. So I'm thinking, this is not where I say I was now. I was in a cell in prison. I was a criminal. I was a convict. So for me to have this vision, me and God had to have a talk. For real. I know you got things mixed up and twisted. And it's me talking to God. I know you got things mixed up and twisted. You got the wrong fella. You in the wrong cell. You must be, you must be, you know what I'm saying, 3, 4 cells over. Why not? Because I know I was guilty for what I was in jail for. I wasn't falsely accused. I wasn't sent to jail for doing something good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't taking out the old lady trash and cutting her grass and, you know, did too many yards in one day and went to jail for it. I committed a crime. Knowingly, intentionally committed a crime. So the fact that I had this vision, this dream, or whatever it was, that was the call. And after I got the call, I didn't change. Like I say, I ran for another 20, 30 years. But then God had to slap me upside my head a few times. If God wanted to get your attention, He know what it takes to get your attention. Now, He gave me a few warnings. When you sell dope for a number of years, and you saving money, and you think you got somebody in your corner you can trust, right? When you get locked up, and you come home, you've been gone 3.5 years, and you thinking you got something to come home to, but you find out you broke. You ain't got a nickel. I had less money at 30 than I had at 17. I came home with nothing. But God still didn't get my attention. There was still no love for God. I wasn't answering the call. Then there was another incident, you know what I'm saying, when my mom passed. Adversity didn't make me run to God at this point. As a matter of fact, adversity made me run further away from God. But this is still God trying to, dude, you tripping. Then I got shot. I'm still not listening. Then I got stabbed. I went to jail. I come home. A year or so later, I get stabbed. But I'm still not listening.
Did the police?
The first time. The second time, you know, after you in the Boys Market parking lot over on Rodeo Road in Crenshaw.
The parking lot. Y'all know about the parking lot.
I've been having a thing with parking lots for a long time.
Rodney!
But dude, Boys Market parking lot, he give it to me. There ain't no parking lot. But I still wasn't answering the call. And like I said, we want the scripture to talk to us, but we don't love God. And we don't answer the call. Like I said, there's a general call that goes out when the pastor opens the door of the church and invites people to join the body of Christ.
That's right.
But there's another call that God gives you. And some of us still ignore it. And like I said, it took me a while, and I had to go through some stuff before I surrendered. See, this is surrender. When the police tell you come out with your hands up, they do that for a reason.
They don't want to get beat up.
Because number one, it's hard to resist, it's hard to fight when you're like this. And now they even get you to the point to where
They don't ask for it.
this is surrender. This is surrender. Put your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers. This is surrender.
They shoot you in the head, they put your hands up.
Because like this, you're no longer fighting. Like this, you're easily controlled. And we don't want to give God control.
Wow.
We won't surrender.
Look at you, Rodney.
We won't raise our hand.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Even criminals. If you're the robber, you done robbed before.
Oh, yeah.
You done seen it in the movies. What they say, stick 'em up. Edward G. Robinson, when he was robbing somebody, what did he say? Stick 'em up. Or they get ready to kidnap somebody, they stick their gun in their rib. Stick 'em up.
Bang out their shirt.
Cowboy
You know
days.
what I'm saying?
Cowboy days.
But that's just to show that you're no longer resisting. You're no longer fighting.
Yeah.
You know what else this means?
Stick them up.
What do your kid do when they want some attention? When they want some love? They walk over to mom or daddy or whoever they know love them and say, pick me up, take me, show me some love. And when you showing that kid some love, and the kid ain't gonna go to somebody that he don't love or she don't love. Most kids don't just let everybody pick them up. But they gonna go to somebody they love and somebody that they comfortable with and say, and that's what we need to do to God, our Heavenly Father. We need to go to the one we love, the one that loves us, and be comfortable enough to say, here I am, pick me up. Because it wasn't until I done that that the call was answered. But before I got to that point, I resisted, and I ran for a long time. Now, like I say, with this particular verse, the scripture, all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord, who are the called according to his purpose. Now, I just told you who the called are.
Yeah.
The called are those who pick up the phone, those who answer, those who are willing to submit to the will and the authority of God. And that's not everybody that's in church. You got just as many hellions in church as you have out in the street.
What's called?
Hellions. People that like to raise hell. People who go against what they should know better than to do.
Hellions.
See, the fact that you have people in church and been in church for 40 years and they're still babes in Christ.
Wow.
They're either faking the funk
That's what they're doing.
or they spiritually retarded.
Spiritually retarded.
The fact that a person been in church for 40 years and they still saying, this is just who I am. No, this is not who you are. It's probably who you used to be. But according to the scriptures, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things have become new. So if you still doing the same things you was doing 10, 15 years ago, and you constantly making an excuse as to, this is just who I am. Nobody's perfect. These are just excuses for you to continue doing what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying that we're not going to slip, we're not going to fall. Because as long as we're in the flesh, we're going to have moments of weakness. But the scriptures say I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. That ain't meaning that I can lift a Chevy motor and walk from Vernon to Slauson with the motor on my shoulder. That ain't what that means. And you got a lot of people who want to twist the word to make it mean what they want it to mean.
Yeah.
I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. That don't mean I'm going to carry this 400-pound air conditioner up 3 flights of stairs. It means you have the strength residing in you to not give in to the flesh.
No, that's what I was going to say. That's for spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
He gives you strength, the strength to endure.
You are able
When you're tempted.
to do his will.
Right.
You are able to step outside of self. Like last week, on the first Sunday, I made a statement that we have to learn to separate ourselves from ourselves.
Indeed.
And we don't want to separate ourselves from ourselves. When the scriptures say, present your bodies as a living sacrifice, it's telling you right there in the Word of God to separate yourself from yourself. But we don't want to separate ourselves from ourselves because some of the things self-like feel good. The things self-like we enjoy. And when you hear all things work together for the good, think about that. All things work together for the good. To us, the good is the stuff we like. Stuff that feels good.
Yeah.
The people around us that make us feel good, that make us smile, that we can hang out and laugh with. You know, a lot of people won't come to church or get themselves to God because they don't want to separate themselves from people. They don't want to separate themselves from old behaviors. They don't want to separate themselves from a way they have grown accustomed to living and the things they've grown accustomed to doing. So they refuse to separate self from self. And the thing is, we want this scripture to talk to us. But like I said, we won't put ourselves in front of the blessing. Because we will sacrifice God for people. We will sacrifice God for the stuff we like to do. We will sacrifice God for behaviors and addictions. But we won't sacrifice people for God. We won't sacrifice behaviors for God. We won't let the alcohol go to walk closer to God. We won't let the sex go because God ain't that important. Sex feels good. God has too many rules. He got a bunch of do's and don'ts. So we're hesitant about getting next to God. But the scripture says, any man who loves mother or father more than me is not fit for the kingdom. He's not telling you not to love your parents. He's telling you that they shouldn't be the most important thing to you. Because I allow you to have them. And one day they're going to be gone. Who you going to turn to then? Who you gonna lean on then? They're not yours. They're mine. And you only got them for a little while. Your wife don't belong to you. Your husband don't belong. Your kids don't belong to you. God just loaned them to you for a little while. Sooner or later, you're going to have to return. And so are they. So don't let them be important. See, because when they become more important than God, then you be more focused on pleasing them than you are in pleasing God. You will put God on the back burner. Your kids, your parents, your wife, your Cadillac, your Lincoln, your Chevy, or whatever it is you driving or riding, get to the point to where it's more important than God, then you don't really have love for God. And God ain't taking a back seat to nobody and nothing. God needs to be first. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, all thy strength. And if you're not loving to that extent, don't expect this verse to be talking to you. What do you have to say?
Whoa.
Raise your hand.
Oh yeah. I'm saying it's pertaining to everything you say. Every time I preach, a pastor, somebody preaches 2 or 3 hours, and they say, you go to church today? I say, yeah, we good. So what did you preach on? I don't remember it. I forgot. But see, everything he said, I remember, I put mine together with his because I remember, like, see, in my situation, it's P-I-M-P. I change that word around and make it say P-I-M-P. I make it sound like people in management positions. See how I made it where it's something good, people in management positions. That's on my pimp cup. They said, what that say? People, I said people in management positions. Not P-I-M-P, not put it in my pocket. See how I twist it around and made you think that it's good, something good. And then another thing, you said the girls, the people around me, surround me, and they follow and come to me, and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? He know what I'm saying. That's why I can remember everything he said in all these sermons.
So, that says,
can I say something? I watch this man, like I get on a bus, and I see him all the time, and I see him in his hat and his suit. I said, I'm gonna meet that man one day. You know, and I find him there on 54 and Slaughter, and I believe in my friend ever since then. And he's a good person, he got a good heart. He's like, he's nothing like I can imagine him to be. He cool with me. I love him.
All right. Hey.
I gotta go.
You know what? That's gonna make me get up there with Rodney. That's what she said. Gonna make me be up there with you one day. She said she loved me. She said she loved me.
that says, once you answer the call, doesn't mean that you're on easy street. You were called to a purpose. Paul was called to a purpose. Jesus came to serve a purpose. God has a purpose for you. His will, his plan, his purpose is stated in verse 29. For him he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to conform to the image of his son. Now when he says to the image of his son, he don't mean a physical appearance. He's not saying we gotta look like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He don't expect us to have the long hair and, you know, the little rope tied around his waist and that little, I don't even know what they call the little toga or dress thing that he was wearing. We don't have to look like that. If you go through the Bible, you go through Genesis, it says that God formed man in his own image. Now, when God formed man in his own image, that means that man was without sin. God gave man dominion over the earth.
So if you form me right here, like right now, you just form me. You got you forming me, making me in the image of you. So that means I'm supposed to be like him.
It's like when a father raises his son.
Yeah.
Now you have a father with a strong work ethic. Or you got some fathers. I know a girl, I know of a girl, I don't personally know her myself. I don't hang out with her. But the girl was a gang member. Her kid's father was a gang member. And in her mind, her son had to be gang member because she wasn't raising no punk. Her twisted way of thinking was if her sons were gang members, they were punks. So she taught them the ways of their father and herself. So when the boys grew up, hanging and banging, they were in the image of their father, of their mother. Because she instilled in them the character of her and their dad. And see, for us to be in the image of Jesus means that we are willing to submit to the will and authority of God. It means that we're going to learn how to show a little compassion, a little mercy, a little grace. We don't have to repay evil for evil. We're going to want to give of ourselves. Because like I said, Jesus served a purpose. Jesus didn't just come to hang out and leave. Now everybody knows John 3:16. Coco, what's John 3:16?
Yeah.
How many people know what John 3:17 says?
I don't.
See, everybody knows John 3:16. People that don't come to church know John 3:16. You see John 3:16 on the back of a bus. But you don't see John 3:17 too often. You don't hear it too often. And I believe I learned John 3:17 before I learned John 3:16.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
John 3:17 is, for God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Wow. You know why? Because that's hard to remember. It's hard to say.
Now,
God so loved the world.
to be in an image of Jesus, and everybody who call themselves Christians are supposed to have the likeness of Christ.
See how smooth he said it? John 17?
But not a whole lot of us who call ourselves Christians have the image of Christ. We're not looking to save somebody else. I mean, come on, how many of us will say, I'm not Captain Save-A-Ho?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we don't want to help. We are selfish. Jesus wasn't selfish. He was willing to give himself. And he gave himself. Even when he didn't like what was coming next, he went to the Father and said, please take this cup from me.
Huh?
Yeah, before they put him up there, he wouldn't pray.
Please take this cup from me.
Please take this cup from me. This is a bitter cup. I know what's coming. I'm not sure I want to go through this.
It's not a literal cup.
It's not a literal cup. It's what he was going to have to endure. But I see.
Washington and Hope trade ticket, I know what it is, right?
Huh?
Washington
Trade
and
ticket.
Hope. Trade ticket here, go to Christ.
Yeah.
Man, I used to on that block for 5 years. They got it on that wall. John 3:16. So I never get that, brother.
Is that right?
5 years I stay on that block. Me and my.
Where the blue line at?
Huh?
Where the blue line at?
Yes, sir.
Right across the street from the railroad track.
Bam.
I seen that.
Yeah.
McDonald's right there.
Right, it's on that wall, but you gotta go on hold, so you can see everybody that's the people.
Okay, Rodney.
It says to be in the image of Christ.
You.
That's our purpose. That's what we are called to do. See, our jobs as Christians, as God's representatives, are to go out and make other Christians.
That's right.
But a whole lot of us don't do it.
Sure.
A lot of people come sit in church, get the word, and after service is over, they feel their job is done. I did what I was supposed to do. Like I said, we tell God what's good enough for him. But the scriptures say all things work together for good to them who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose.
That's right.
We have been called. I have been called.
Yes, you have.
I've been chosen. And my job is to share my knowledge, my understanding of the Word of God. My job as a Christian, anybody who calls themselves a Christian, is to go out and make other Christians. Why can't a gangbanger, a gang member, go out and recruit other gang members, but a Christian can't recruit a Christian?
That's right.
We feel it's the pastor's job. It's the minister's job. No, it's your job as a Christian. You've been called. You've been chosen. Get up and do what you need to do. Quit making excuses.
Bang.
We always want to put it off on somebody else. It's like when we were kids. And mama tell you to go in and wash the dishes, and you tell mama, it's not my turn, it's Ike's turn. Pop! It's not my turn, it's Robert's turn. Go in there and clean my bathroom. It's not my turn, it's Philip's turn. Well, our job as Christians is to go out and make other Christians. But we tell God that that's not in my job description. That's the pastor's job. That's Reverend Calhoun's job. That's Reverend Fisher's job. It's anybody's job but Rodney's job. No. You were called to a purpose. And your purpose is to do the will of the Father. Like I say, we all want this scripture to talk to us. And it's kind of funny how we want this scripture to talk to us, but there's other scriptures that we don't want to talk to us. There's a scripture says, go ye therefore and preach. And you got people who say, well, I'm not a preacher. You're wrong. Because when you know about Olive Garden, Friday, Red Lobster, Reed Calendars, and that pie sale, you tell people about it. Like I told people about the place where I get my pastrami burrito. Pastrami burritos, but if you like pastrami, you want to go to A&T. Right over on 92nd, 94th, and what's that, San Pedro? Pastrami burrito is the bomb.
Whoa.
And it's big.
I ain't never had one.
Where's this at?
On 94th and San Pedro.
I ain't never had one.
A&T Burgers.
Okay.
But anytime you can tell somebody about the new Jordans, when you sit up and preach about how LeBron James did this, that, and other, what a great basketball player he is, you're preaching. So when you're telling people about the goodness of God and what he's done for you, how you can say you're not a preacher? Me standing here doing what I'm doing just been revealed to me, because I would always say I'm not a preacher. I just try to share the information that I have, but doing what I'm doing, technically, I'm preaching. So I guess I need to just go on and step in the shoes God gave me. Ain't no sense in faking a funk, you know?
Yeah.
It is what it is, so a ball and a stripe is stripe. But I don't really care for the title.
That's right.
The reason I don't like the title, because I think most people who get titles, it kind of change them.
Yeah.
They kind of look down their nose on some people. Not all, but some.
Big.
They get big-headed. You know what I'm saying? If I got the title as minister, preacher, how would it change me? How would it affect me? Because some people think that with them titles comes a certain reverence and a power. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, money changes people. Titles change people. So I really don't care for the title. I'm just a servant of God. That's the only title I really care for. I'm a servant. But all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord. Now either you love him or you don't. Ain't no faking the fun. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. People who say they love the Lord, a lot of times their conversation, their character, their conduct says otherwise, just like the individual displayed a little while ago. A lot of people ain't operating in love but say they love the Lord. They want this verse to talk to them, but it's not.
Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28. All good things. But everybody, like I say, don't love the Lord. Everybody's not answering the call, and everybody's not serving their purpose. So, and we know that all things work to the good to them that love the Lord, who are the called according to his purpose. His purpose is for us to be in the image of Christ. His purpose is for us who call ourselves Christians, Christian meaning Christ-like, is to be more like Christ. We are to go out and make other Christians. That's the purpose, that's the call, and those actions, if you truly love him, you will fall into place.
That's right.
Because love will make you do what you otherwise would not do.
No.
That's what the song says. What you won't do, you do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. And that's when you love God, you would do things that you wouldn't do. Because like I said, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't stand in front of a group of people and speak for over an hour. I've been going for over an hour.
Man, for real.
But I'm doing for God what I normally wouldn't do. Because I love him.
That's right.
And I love him. But he loved me first.
Wow.
Greater love had no man than this, that he laid down his life for freedom. Jesus got up on that cross and gave his life for us. What are you willing to do for him in return to show your love for him? Thank you for listening.
See, Rodney, I remember everything you be saying, man. Even, it's like if I could listen to a song and it remind me of you. Like today, I might listen.